Hello fellow football connoisseurs and welcome back to the quick take. Chelsea 2, Burnley 2 at home at Stamford Bridge in London. Chelsea unable to pick up all 3 points against 19th place 10 men Burnley, and honestly I am not surprised at all. Before I get into everything, make sure you are subscribed, because at 15,000 subscribers, that is less than 100 subscribers away now, I'm giving away 3 King of London lightsabers courtesy of OwnASaber.com. All you need to do to enter is subscribe to the channel, of course, and then check the pinned comment down below for more information. Getting straight into the game now, I'm going to go through the lineups at first. You have Georgia Petrovic in goal. I'm going to also be doing like player ratings while I go along with this. Georgia Petrovic in goal. Now, Petrovic, he was at fault for the second goal, but again, so was Noni Madueke. I think it was Noni Madueke's man who ran away from him. He lost his man defending the corner, and he was ready for a free header. Petrovic, again though, massively at fault for this goal. Tried to catch the ball instead of just pushing it away or palming it away. Ended up letting it slip through his hands and into the back of the net to make it 2-2 Burnley. I do think he has some credit in the bank. I said this on Twitter. I do think he has had a pretty decent season so far. And so I think, you know, every now and then, issues like this, I think they can be forgiven. I think I'm still more comfortable with Petrovic in net than I am with Sanchez at the moment. But I can also see, and I can sympathise why the club may be looking at, you know, getting another goalkeeper in the summer. Mamadashvili, Bento, they have both been linked to Chelsea. Marco Correa, I actually think he had a fairly okay game. Nothing to write home about, but nothing to really rant about either. I think he's been playing fairly okay this season when he has played. I still don't think it justifies his price tag, but I don't really think that's down to him. I think you could say that about a lot of players, and that Chelsea have certainly overspent on a lot of players. Marco Correa obviously picked up a yellow card as well during the game. Benoit Badiashile and Axel Disasi. I'm not a fan of this pairing. I don't think they had the greatest game. Benoit Badiashile has of course missed out a lot of games this season through injury, and Axel Disasi has been playing at, you know, centre back, right back some games. So, but in my opinion, I don't think these two had a very good game overall. Malo Gusto, fantastic performance. I can't really fault him at any point. He did go off injured, unfortunately for us, and unfortunately for me, because I did bring him into my fantasy FPL this week. So the curse of TQT continues. But Malo Gusto, again, fantastic player all round. He's been a fantastic addition to the side this season, deputising for the constantly injured but hopefully getting better Reece James, who is rumoured to not be playing again this season, according to Fabrizio Romano. Moises Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez, they had an okay game. I think Caicedo, he came off, I think, for Raheem Sterling, if I remember correctly, and then Conor Gallagher came off for Noni Madueke. I think that's how it happened. But Moises Caicedo came off for Raheem Sterling, which I thought was an interesting decision. Out of the two, I would have probably, and I think this was mentioned on Con and Pies' space on the playback, I think of the playback app, where Enzo Fernandez had only just come back into Britain, basically, because he had been at international duty in South America. Now, I don't know about you, but I see players as humans and not robots, and I know how tiring that kind of a journey can be. I mean, you're coming straight from South America, you have one training session with a team that is going to be pretty strong and energy sapping, and then you've got a game straight after that. I think Enzo Fernandez could have been potentially rested today, and we potentially could have started someone like Cesar Castell. And then, as I said, bring on Enzo Fernandez maybe at half-time if things aren't going well with Castell. But I don't think Enzo Fernandez really should have started, but he did start. We risked him with injury, or potentially picking up an injury, and he actually played fairly well. Cole Palmer, 10 out of 10 performance, 2 goals. Mykhailo Mudryk winning the first penalty. Beautiful run, goes down in the box. Honestly, I wouldn't have given it. I think it was very, very, very harsh, and it did result in Signon getting a second yellow card and then being sent off. However, the game's the game, and Mykhailo Mudryk, he knows how to go down, and he has the pace to get past defenders where they've only got one real choice. Let him go through and have a chance at goal, or bring him down, and that is one of the reasons why I quite like Mudryk and why I think he should be starting for the rest of the season. As I said, we do have easier games coming up. Of course, we do have Manchester United coming up, but we do have easier games coming up for the rest of the season. But again, Cole Palmer, fantastic game again from him. And it wasn't even his best performance, but a fantastic game nonetheless. 2 goals, 1 penalty, and 1 lovely finish. Nice back heel from Raheem Sterling, who did come on for, again, Moises Caicedo, who also missed a header from quite close out, but that's kind of Raheem Sterling in a nutshell. 1 minute he can give you a fantastic assist, the next he can miss an absolute sitter. I just wish he was a bit more consistent, but again, Cole Palmer, and I also think he's, I think, the 4th or the 5th player in Chelsea history to register over 20 goals and assists in his debut season in a Chelsea shirt, alongside the likes of Cesc Fabregas, Hasselbank. We got the likes of Eden Hazard in there as well. Fantastic, great players, and Cole Palmer is adding his name to that list of fantastic players. Conor Gallagher subbed off fairly early into the second half, coming off for Noni Madueke, and I didn't think he had the best game. I saw a lot of fouls, a lot of just running into players for the sake of running into players. I think it's a game to forget for Conor Gallagher. He has been fantastic all season, though. I would like to say I think he's been one of the stronger players in this Chelsea side this season. But again, a game to forget for Conor Gallagher. And Nicholas Jackson, again, missing a number of good chances. He really should have put away the chances that we fed to him, and I think he can look back on this performance with regret, in the way that he not conducted himself, because it wasn't like he conducted himself in a poor way, but in the fact that he missed so many big chances. And something I'd like to point out here when we're looking at the two sides, the lineups. Chelsea, of course, playing in the 4-2-3-1, and then Burnley, coached by Vincent Kompany, wants a Chelsea target, playing the 4-4-2, quite a strong formation. You can defend well in that. Of course, I mean, they actually had 2 red cards that game, Signon for bringing down Mudryk, and then shortly after, Vincent Kompany was sent off, given a red card, probably for disagreeing with the referee in a strongly worded manner. So they were down to 10 men, and they lost their manager, and we still failed to beat them. We have here the average ages for the squad: Chelsea 23.4 years, and Burnley 24.3 years. So it's not like you could say, well, age played a massive factor when you take into account that there was only, what, a 0.9 year difference in terms of average age of the sides. So both sides are dealing with fairly inexperienced players, or players who couldn't command the experience that maybe a Manchester City side could, or even a Liverpool side could. Both sides fairly young, and I think they showed it today. Both sides having issues, especially Chelsea coming out for the second half. I think we came out in the second half very sleepy, droopy, and that but that allowed us to make the mistake once again of conceding early into the second half. Cullen with a fantastic strike. Josh Cullen, fantastic strike from the number 24 man, who also did get booked that game. But this is really a game that Chelsea should win, and we did hear the quotes the other day from Pochettino regarding how Chelsea should be much higher in the league, regarding our league position, because of the stats and how the stats show. If you look at all the parameters and stats that are used on radio, TV, and newspapers, we should be in the top 4. What does all the data mean? That we are all in a good way. We need time with experience playing together. Before in this game, Chelsea now sit 11th in the Premier League table. This was a chance to go ahead of Wolves and be up there with the likes of Brighton and Newcastle in terms of points, and being in around that battle. Again, West Ham as well. Climbing our way to 6th, which is now 8 points away. Manchester United are currently playing Brentford as I am recording this. Chelsea, though, not good. Goals for 49, goals against 47. 47 goals conceded this season already. Disgraceful. Everton have conceded less goals this season. And before I finish up the video, I'm just going to go over the quotes from Maurizio Pochettino following the full-time whistle. I'm sorry, but I am not happy with the performance when we don't have the ball. We need to be strong also against a very physical team. We allowed them to run too much. Sorry for my speech, but it's difficult to accept not to win the game because it was a must-win game. We need to accept that and recover from the situation. Well, of course, Burnley are 19th and Chelsea need points. Not getting all 3 points against 19th place 10 men with their manager sent off Burnley, in my opinion, is embarrassing, especially when we were leading them at half-time. There's not many excuses. No, in fact, no. There are no excuses for that. I really am getting frustrated with his obsession with running too much. We allowed them to run too much. I think allowing them to run too much can be a good thing if you have the ball and you tire them out through good passing, and you tire them out, and then you spring quick attacks against lethargic, legs. I think that could be an interesting way we could play. The way we concede the first goal, they have one less. They need to realize we need to increase our work levels. It's not to blame the players, it's to blame everyone. We need to be tougher when we have the players. We need to be a team behind communication and be more competitive. I'm not killing anyone. We are part of the problem, all of us. I'm not blaming anyone. It's not about cancelling days off. They need to realize that we are missing something. That is why we are where we are today. Today, it is so clear that when we don't have the ball, we don't increase our level and didn't have the capacity to recover the ball back and allow them to transition so easily from one area to another. Yes, we need to accept that and recover our situation. On Thursday, we have another game here and we need to be with all the energy to be competitive and clear our head now. Nothing is giving me any hope. Nothing is giving me any respite. Nothing is giving me any happiness regarding what Poch has had to say after the game. And I decided to go over this from CFC Pice. Data. Chelsea have now conceded 47 goals in the Premier League this season, equaling the amount of goals they conceded the whole of last season per Opta Chelsea. Bear in mind, last season was an absolute show. Chelsea have conceded between the 45th and 60th minute in 11 fixtures this season per Rob Journalism PR. 11 wins in 28 games per Blue Dodger, 5 games in a row conceding 2 goals. Of course, we have done that. I don't have much to say from what I've already said regarding Poch, regarding the sporting directors, and regarding what I feel Chelsea need to do going forward in order to reclaim our crown at the top of the Premier League. What I do think would be a nice thing to happen is for there to be a statement similar to Bayern Munich's, where it is announced that Maurizio Pochettino will not be the manager next season and that there has been a search, or that there will be a search conducting for the new manager. But I don't want the search to be conducted by Winstanley and Stewart, because they're the ones who got us into this trouble in the first place. It's so frustrating, the situation that we're in, and I really hope that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. But again, if you like the video, like, comment, subscribe. I've been the Quick Take, and I'll catch you on the next one. See you later.